Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. For lunch today, we're having a breaded chicken strip, leafy greens, cucumber, baby carrots, apples, and a pear fruit cup. We have had a couple birthdays over the weekend. We had Mila from Miss Alcazar's class, Jacqueline from Miss Brown's class, Isabel from Miss Campbell's class, and then today we have Catalia from Miss Solander's class. So happy birthday to all of you. This week is Read Across America Week, so we are doing our Spirit Week to help celebrate literacy and reading. So today is Dress Like a Book Character today. So if you have a book character that you liked, hopefully you dress like them today. Tomorrow is Dress for Success Day, where you can wear your best, fanciest outfit. Wednesday will be Wacky Wednesday, where you can wear crazy mismatched clothes. Thursday is Alphabet Soup Day, so you can wear clothes that have letters on it or just one letter. And Friday is Pajama Day, so you can wear your pajamas. For Read Across America Week, we are reading a story from this book called Tales Our Abuelitas Told, a Hispanic folktale collection by Isabel Campoy and Alma Flor Ada. So the story we are reading is called Blanca Flor, which is a apparently pretty well-known story in Hispanic culture. So maybe you've heard it before, or maybe this is the first time hearing it. But for this, it's kind of a Monday mindfulness thing where you just kind of sit back and relax and use your mind to imagine what's going on in the story. And each day this week, we're going to read a little bit more of the story so you can try and predict what's going to happen next. So the story of Blanca Flor. A young prince had gone riding very early in the morning before the sunrise. Now tired and sad, he sat under the branches of a large oak tree. He was thinking about his father, the king, who lay in the castle, sick with an illness no one knew how to cure. Doctors had been called in from all the neighboring kingdoms, wizards had been consulted, and the queen had prepared with her own hands all the medicines suggested. But nothing seemed to help the king, who grew weaker and weaker with each passing day. The young prince had been sitting under the tree for a while, lost in thought, when he was surprised by a deep voice that seemed to come from the branches of the oak tree. "What would you be willing to give for your father's health?" The prince looked around, but could see no one. "I would give anything and everything for my father's health," he responded, trying to disguise the fear in his voice. "Then in 3 years' time you shall bring yourself to me, to the 3 silver towers in the land of no return. Do I have your promise?" the deep voice bellowed as every leaf of the oak tree quivered. "Yes," agreed the young man. "I, Prince Alfonso, do solemnly promise that I will do as you ask if my father is indeed cured." 3 years from today," said the voice, so loudly that all the leaves fell, cascading down upon the startled prince. Shaking them off his shoulders, he jumped on his horse and he headed back to the palace and to his father's room. "Son!" his mother greeted him with a smile, the first he had seen on her loving face in many days. "Look at your father! He seems so much better." And indeed, the sleeping king seemed to have regained all his color, and his sleep was sound and placid. The king was completely healthy again in no time. But now the queen worried about her son. He seemed delighted, as was everyone, to see the kind king recover. And yet, once in a while, the queen noticed a deep sadness in her son's eyes. The king was determined that Prince Alfonso should marry. His prolonged illness had left him with a renewed urgency for life. "I want to see you start a family. I want to get to know my grandchildren." Even though the prince insisted that he was not ready for marriage, the king ordered portraits of every marriageable princess brought in from all the neighboring kingdoms. When they all failed to interest the prince, the king organized banquets and dances and outings to have the prince meet every noble girl he could possibly invite. But while the king managed to create a great deal of work for the seamstresses and coiffeurs of the kingdom, and while many young people had a wonderful time at the events, he could not get the prince to change his mind. And here's a picture of our prince sitting underneath the tree, talking to the tree. So that king is trying to find a wife for this prince, but the prince is not having it. So what do we think will happen next? All right, lead the charge, Buffaloes.